Hello everyone, it is me, Emily, and this summer I went to the catacombs in Paris, France. For those of you who do not know what the catacombs are, it is an underground tunnel underneath Paris, France with about 7 million dead bodies, which is kind of scary being there, especially when you're walking right by them. At first, it took me a while to kind of get used to it. At first, I was like, oh my gosh, this is very scary. But yeah, well, anyway, today I'm going to tell you guys some facts about the catacombs in Paris, France. But before we get on with the video, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's get on with the video. Before I tell you guys some facts, I'm going to tell you about how I felt being there. At first, it was very nerve-wracking being there, especially because there's bones around me. Well, obviously that's why I felt nervous, but yeah, and it was kind of sad that people wrote their names on the bones and stuff like that. So if you ever go there, please don't do that. Thank you. And it was interesting. I mean, you see bones any way I touched them, which I actually wasn't supposed to do that, so but anyway, everybody does it, so oh well. But yeah, it was kind of cool, honestly. I liked being there, so if you ever go to Paris, France, you should really check them out. So, at first, I was really scared because my head touched a bone once, which that really scared me. And yeah, so I probably should tell you guys some facts now. So, first, I'm just going to show you guys a voice recording of me when I was actually there, because right now I'm just doing a voiceover. I'm in the catacombs right now, and they're really cool. They're dead people. And dead bones are stacked. One thing I don't like about this is that they were once part of a person, and that's just a weird thought. Like, isn't it just weird, like, how they were just, like, once part of someone, and now they're, like, right here?
Yep.
Long ago, the people of Paris would bury their dead in massive pits. Once the pit got full, they would dig a new one. After all the pits got full, they went back to the first one and opened it up and removed what was left, which was only bones. They made a mountain out of bones. And there was lots of shops and markets around the cemetery. The corpse spread in many, many diseases. After a huge flood from the river Seine, it washed away many of the bones. Then, the King of France ordered that the bones would be put in the catacombs. The monks would move them every night, and it took them 2 years to move all the bones. The catacombs had many other uses. The Nazis had a base in the catacombs. The French resistance fighters also hid in there until the Americans and English eradicated the Nazis from France. In the catacombs here, I bet there is at least a couple relatives of every single person watching this. It's kind of scary to think about that, like, you're literally, when you're there, you're looking at some of your relatives from a very long time ago. It's kind of interesting, but at the same time, it's kind of, how do I say this, scary. In the catacombs' first years, they were very disorganized. But eventually, the director of the Paris Mine Inspection Service from 1810 had renovations done that transformed the underground caverns to a visible mausoleum. In the renovation of the Paris Mine Inspection Service, they stacked the bones, as you can see, and they put interesting patterns on, which I will explain a little bit. But I have one question for all of you guys. Would you guys be too scared to go in the catacombs, or would you guys actually go there? Honestly, I think a lot of people would enjoy seeing the catacombs. Anyway, at first they'd probably be very scared, because, I mean, dead bodies are surrounding you. For example, the designs in the catacombs, as you can see, there are rows of just normal bones and skulls. You could see them if you look closely. And also, what I noticed that there was like a heart shaped, there was like hearts as like a cross, and they've been there for years, so it's pretty interesting about that. The renovation of the catacombs ended around after the 1814 through 1815 war. But after that, they finally decided to add a couple public visits, but they only allowed a few per year. Actually, they had to close down the catacombs for public visits because people decided it was wrong to show people's remains to the world. Eventually, the government finally allowed them to have public visits again, but they only allowed 4 visits a year. But then eventually, there was eventually monthly visits, then weekly visits. And then eventually, they were opened for regular daily visits. But after an incident of vandalism, the catacombs were closed to the public during September 2009 and reopened on the 19th on December of the same year. And like I said in the beginning of the video, please don't vandalize in the catacombs, and plus don't vandalize anywhere. That's a better idea. Well, don't vandalize no matter where you go.